In this video, I'm going to talk about my favorite game of all time, the things I enjoy about it, and the criticisms about the game that I do agree with. Fallout 4 is my favorite game of all time. While it is a very flawed game, and those flaws are visible, I still like it a lot. I think there's a lot of charm in the game, and in this video I'm going to highlight major aspects of the game that I do like. And I'm also going to highlight those flaws so that if you're thinking about getting the game, you can see what there is that is good and what there is that is bad. Now, I'm not going to highlight every flaw and every good aspect of the game, but I'm going to highlight aspects that I think are important. Do you hear that? Oh no.
Why? Aren't you talking about New Vegas? Like the masterpiece it is!
Why aren't you talking about New Vegas? It's a masterpiece!
Vegas is the best game ever.
Praise Bethesda, New Vegas sucks. Fallout 4 is flawless. No, I like Fallout New Vegas, and like I said previously, Fallout 4 does have very visible flaws. I just personally prefer Fallout 4 over New Vegas. New Vegas isn't my top 3 games of all time, it's just certain things I like more that Fallout 4 does. Now, let's start the video. So first off in this video, we're going to talk about what I do like about Fallout 4, starting with the gameplay. I really enjoy the gameplay in Fallout 4. All the weapons control well, aiming is really easy, and I don't have to use VATS all the time. I love Fallout 4's map. I think that every location is beautiful and has something special about it that makes it unique. When I travel around the map, I feel like I'm wandering in my home that was destroyed, so it captures the atmosphere of the game perfectly. This map is beautiful and has a good balance of natural locations and towns. I enjoy Fallout 4's story. While there are parts that go on too long and I feel the ending is a little rushed, I enjoyed it and it was able to hold my attention and keep me invested in the game. And I felt a lot of the quests throughout the story that helped further it were pretty good, and I enjoyed them. When I talk about characters, I'm going to be talking about companions because they're the characters you spend the most time with in the game. But I really like Fallout 4's characters. My favorite's probably John Hancock, just how he's written. He's not a great companion to have along with you, but he's written really well. Has a pretty tragic backstory, being a man who became a ghoul after taking an experimental chem and was abused and watched the abuse of other characters by the mayor of Goodneighbor, eventually causing an uprising and killing that mayor of Goodneighbor, becoming the mayor himself. Other characters I like are Nick Valentine. His character is pretty goofy to have in that sort of world, but he works because of how he's written. He's a synth who's a detective for a town that doesn't really like synths, and he became really well liked in the town because he did so much for the people there. Another character I like, even though he's annoying, is Preston Garvey. I think he's really well written. He feels like a failure because of the deaths that happened in the group of people he was supposed to protect, and the only reason he keeps pushing on is because of the people who are still alive from that group that believe in him. So, we're at the part of the video where I talk about the criticisms about the game that I do agree with. The first one I'd like to talk about is the writing. I agree that the writing in this game isn't great. While I enjoy it, it still isn't great, and I can recognize that. A lot of the factions need more explored about them, and they need better writing for that. Another criticism about the game that I agree with is that karma should be in the game. In Fallout 4, there's no karma system. You can do certain things that'll make your companions mad, but that's not enough. If the way you talk to people won't affect how citizens of certain towns see you, and I think that that isn't great. I think that they should have added karma into the game because it is a very important part of role-playing games, your reputation, and Fallout 4 just doesn't have that. The last piece of criticism that I'll talk about that I agree with is dialogue. I think Fallout 4 needs more dialogue options in conversations. You have like 4 per conversation. Like after someone asks you a question or makes a statement, you have 4 different responses. And I don't think that's enough. I think that they need more dialogue options because previous games have had a lot more dialogue options than Fallout 4. And I think that this game's dialogue system is a downgrade from the previous Fallout games. In dialogue, you don't really have a disrespectful option. You have a sarcastic option, but that won't really affect much. So I think that they need like a better dialogue system in this game that they didn't add, and that is a piece of criticism that I will agree with. Fallout 4 is my favorite game of all time. While it does have its flaws, I like it a lot. I think it has good characters, good gameplay, a story that while I can see why others don't like it, I personally like. And it has my favorite open world in any game that I've ever played. I think if Bethesda takes what worked in Fallout 4 and improves upon it with a karma system, slightly better writing that develops the factions more, and more dialogue options, I think they will have the best Fallout game ever. That is my take on Fallout 4. If you agree, good. If you disagree, good.